You realize it's pretty simple. If Arizona flips to Trump and then Trump gets, as frankly expected, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, he's at 276 electoral counts. He's got enough. He gets elected, he'll have 276 electoral votes. You realize how close this is? This is not over yet. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball. There are lawsuits, there's litigation, and believe me, if Biden was on the other side of this right now, the Biden campaign would be suing. They'd be filing all kinds of legal briefs. There'd be litigation too. It's a duty of these campaigns to hold these voting locations accountable. It's a lot of smart people on Fox News, frankly, a lot of guests that appear regularly, like Victor Davis Hanson, who's been on our show many times. Last night, I thought Professor Hanson made a wonderful point on Tucker Carlson's show about the media and these polls and these pundits, how they are doing everything they can to undermine American institutions, and the American people won't have it. That's why millions of people in record numbers went to the ballot box. Now, I get that you throw in coronavirus and people don't like Trump's personality and they're all anxious and they don't like the way he tweets and they're angry and okay, you get your say. Go to the ballot box and vote. Guess what? Those of us who appreciate a pro-life president, an agenda that has seen a border wall, border security, strong military, regulations thrown out the window, the deregulation, all the things we've said, the lower taxes for 80% of Americans, all the things we voted for again in November of 2020 or August of 2020 or September of 2020, depending on where you live because of the myriad of systems we have in America, which is ridiculous. There should be a national standard for voting in the United States of America. You know what they want to do? The left wants to make D.C. a state, and they want to put, 19 justices on the Supreme Court. We should be demanding a uniform way to vote in America across the board. Here was Dr. Victor Davis Hanson last night on Tucker Carlson with a pretty profound point.
In this election, Tucker, it was a story between academia, Hollywood, celebrities, Silicon Valley, the media, the big banks, Wall Street, and who did Donald Trump have on his side? He had those people at the rallies, he had an outreach to minorities, he had talk radio, and that's about it. And so I'm very worried that a lot of people are gaining and using inordinate influence in a way that's really warping a constitutional system that's worked really well for 233 years. It's landslide, 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 and then when you don't get a landslide, it's, oh, you won't concede. Well, you won't concede because the votes haven't been counted.
What a smart point, and that's all we heard. You don't believe it? Again, there's tape, just like there's tape of Joe Biden saying he'd get rid of fracking, wouldn't subsidize or fund fracking, and then in the last minute he tried to pretend he was for fracking so he could try to, get votes in Pennsylvania. Listen to this montage put together by Fox News and Grabian of the pundits, the pollsters, the smart kids in the room leading into this election.
President Trump is dragging down Republican senators with him.
For parties, sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. And this year, it looks like Republicans are the bug.
This could be the year where Texas goes blue.
More likely, as we sit tonight, that Joe Biden wins a landslide.
If we see in those final polls the type of lead that Joe Biden has now, the polls are not going to be wrong.
Well, they were wrong. You were wrong. And once again, the media and the pollsters have egg on their face, and the American people get to have a say that doesn't comport with what they want us to say. 800-655-MIKE. We're in the ReliefFactor.com studios. What's going to happen in Georgia? What's going to happen in Arizona? We're all over it with your calls. What's going to happen in Nevada? What's going to happen in North Carolina? What's going to happen in these 4 states? Because again, if Trump winds up winning Arizona, according to counting the votes. And all he needs is Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia. There's a second term of the Trump administration. And again, regardless of what happens with the presidential outcome, there's a lot of good news not only with the Senate, but the House, state houses all over the country, even the governor's race. There's a lot of good stuff to celebrate